Thank you very much for joining us today. My name is Marian White, and with me since the early 1990s, can you believe?
Yes.
My co-host, Ken Bialo.
Yes.
Ken, thank you for serving 4 years as mayor in the village of Larchmont.
Yes.
11 years as trustee.
Yes.
And you've just been helpful to the community for the last 30 years, I'd say.
Yeah. So, So since this show began, you have literally avoided, you never say that
What?
you were trustee in the village for 2 terms. You never say
that was just
And then
so old. Old hat.
Yeah. So am I.
Us.
Us, we old hat. All right. Or the head of the Republican Party.
Yes, well, that sort of died off, didn't it?
It did die off.
But
it may come back,
hoping.
given the village board's activities with respect to the construction permits and the inability. Did you see the letter that was written? Somebody wrote a scathing letter to one of the newspapers saying,
No.
We elected these people. Why aren't they responding to us? Why are they responding to the builders and the contractors?
Whoa.
Yes, it's kind of capitalized.
And signed it?
Screaming, yes, but I don't remember who signed it. And I don't even remember what newspaper it was in. I think it was the Sound in Town.
Wow.
Yeah. So there may be help. Look, village elections are in March.
Maybe, do you think we could bill out our consulting services to help
Yes.
people know what you have to do
think
to
what
run an
we
election?
ought to do
Yeah.
is we ought to put you up for mayor on,
Oh, I don't
on
think
a
so.
write-in ballot. Because last time the mayor got like 50 votes or 47
Yeah,
votes or
it
something.
wouldn't take much.
Remember, in the old days, we get 1,700 or 1,800 votes, sometimes 2,000.
It's like people really wanted us?
You know, voters, I shouldn't say
Oh, okay.
votes. Total
Right.
total voters. But that, I might have 1,100, you might have 1,100 or 900 or something like that. The mayor, I think, was elected with 47 votes, maybe 57 votes. Wow. So
Boy.
nobody cares, nobody votes. And we could do a secret campaign, but it'll just be between you and me. We won't tell anybody. We'll do a secret campaign.
Well, there need to be about 50 other people.
A secret write-in campaign. Well, I mean, it's not a secret now. I guess I've blown it, huh?
And then at the polling place, suddenly 50 Republicans show up. There will be, word will get out.
We don't need, no, you mean Democrats. They'll have a whole horde. If the word ever got
Right.
out that we were going to do this,
Right.
why it has to be a secret.
Oh, okay.
There would be hordes of phone calls, panicked phone calls, people unhinged as they have become more recently since November, totally unhinged.
Listen, I have
we
to.
have to get there. We have to get there.
I have
we
to
can't
go.
let these people.
I have to go to Unhinged.
Unhinged?
You just said the right word.
Unhinged.
On January 4th, in that so neutral newspaper, the New York Times.
You mean the one that's recommitted itself to honesty in reporting?
Well, here, this is called advertisement, so
Okay.
I guess they could do that.
Okay.
But you see, it says no.
No. Did you
And
hold
then-
that up long enough? Oh, wait. There you go. Center camera. Okay. No.
In the name of humanity, we refuse to accept a fascist America.
Oh, my God.
And then you go on and down, and then it says, fascism is a strong word. It's a very serious thing. It has direction and momentum that must be stopped before it comes too late. And then as part of the definition, it says, fascism feeds on and encourages the threat and use of violence to build a movement and to come to power. Fascism, once in power, essentially eliminates traditional democratic rights. Well, who's been doing that? I mean, I think of MoveOn.org. People shooting policemen.
Yeah. What about Stalin? Wasn't he the darling of the leftists and the progressives of the 30s? Didn't he kill 10 or 12 million people?
Well, and wasn't.
But he's not a fascist. He was a communist. If you do it in the name of the
okay.
people who shall remain
okay.
unnamed, then it's okay. If you do it in the name of the people, it's no good. Now, which people are we talking about, right?
Well, I mean, it just seemed to me that this really covers all spectrums. So I don't understand what this is about.
So could you read the qualifications again?
Fascism feeds on and encourages the threat and use of violence to build a movement
What?
and come to power.
No, that's never happened.
Violence.
Violence.
Yes.
There's never been, where's the violence? It must be the fascists alone who have violence, right? There's no lefties, there's no religious fanatics that feed on violence, none of that stuff, right?
Well,
Are they
just
left
think
out of
of
there?
Baltimore and stuff when, people were shooting people. I mean, it was just terrible.
Okay, what's the next qualification?
Fascism, once in power, essentially eliminates traditional democratic rights. Well, who wants to get rid of democratic rights?
Well, but what's the tradition? What tradition? It's only traditional because
Well, like the Electoral College is traditional,
it's
I would
only
say.
traditional. There are only traditional democratic rights because a document was written in 1776 and another one
Yes.
in 1781 that defied the laws of divine rights of kings, and it defied the idea that the power only belonged to the people who owned the land upon which the serfs worked. It was the document that was the beacon. So traditional democratic rights come from here. The tradition is here.
Okay.
There is no tradition of doing what these turkeys are talking about, right? Eliminating traditional democratic rights. Let's see, who would do that? Who in the electoral process would do that? Did anybody note, by the way, did they note in their article, oh, I've lost the point, is that 1,000, from the time Obama was elected president
right.
in 2008 to this election, 2016, 1,000 seats across the nation in state legislatures and federal legislature. And I don't know how they counted that. They might have double counted some. I mean, I have no idea.
Right,
I'm not
right.
standing for the 1,000, but
Right.
I am saying it must be it's just a huge number. Governorships, legislatures.
Well, where it went from being a D-Democrat
Yeah.
to an R-Republican.
Yes, at some point during
So
that 8
people are
years.
not really very happy.
Yeah, they're not happy. So it seems to me that people have exercised their traditional democratic values to throw out the Democrats. And as much
Oh.
hunting and pecking as they wish to
That
do.
was sort of what I was coming to conclude.
Yeah. As much
Okay.
hunting and pecking as they've done trying to find an excuse, a reason. It was the Russians. No, it was Julian Assange. No, it was the candidate. She was too secrecy. She was too full of secret. No, it was Podesta and the leaders of the Democratic National Committee. No, it was all of those things. Here's the answer. There's 2 little islands, one in the far west and one in the northeast, that's blue. The rest of the country, almost universally, I should include Honolulu, that was and Hawaii, that was blue, and also New Mexico, and maybe
The
Colorado.
islands are actually Manhattan and the state of California.
Well, Manhattan but Manhattan, New York, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Vermont, the People's Republic of Vermont, come on, right? Maine. Right?
Well, I guess the fun's going to just keep going.
Oh,
I thought maybe the fun was over.
It can't be over because people are shouting, no, they've lost their marbles. They've just lost their marbles. Oh my God, they're fascists. Jesus. Pitiful.
Well, the New York Times made money. I guess they don't make money but from people buying the
They
newspaper.
need the money to recommit themselves to honest reporting, according to the editor, his letter to us, the then subscribers.
Yes.
Yes, they must need the money.
Well, we have some very happy news for a very special person. Your co-anchor, Valerie O'Keefe, on radio.
Yeah.
So tell us about this.
So, Valerie has been named and has accepted the bestowal of said name of Grand Marshal in the Sound Shore Community's St. Patrick's Day Parade, which will be held in 2017 on Sunday, March 19th. So that's a really big deal. She is the first woman selected to be
Isn't
the
that
Grand
nice?
Marshal of this parade. So that's really
So
a great
Hillary couldn't do something, but Valerie could.
Well, Hillary's
breaking
often,
a barrier.
Hillary's tending to her computer system. I mean, she's hiding emails and sending them to Huma Abedin. So, and they're busy, hiding that and then complaining that somebody found them. Oh my God. Anyway, February 11th
Yes.
of 2017, this is the point. At the Larchmont Shore Club, which is located, oddly enough, in Larchmont, between 7 p.m. and 11 p.m., there will be a dinner. And the point of the dinner is to benefit the 2017 parade and the scholarship fund. And who is putting on the dinner? The Sound Shore St. Patrick's Day Committee. So this is, I guess, a month earlier, I don't know, 38 days before the St. Pat's Day Parade. Valerie is going to be honored at the dinner. And the dinner will include cocktails, dinner, open bar music, bagpipers, and the O'Rourke Irish Dancers, which I think will include one of Kelsey's closest friends who competes in these things across the country.
Wow.
Tickets are $185 per ticket, and all of this can be found at soundshoreparade.com. So, fun prizes, I guess there's going to be an Irish raffle. It says here, Irish, in quotes. Irish raffle, I don't know what that is, 50-50 raffle. Okay, so this is a great event. There have been, I don't know, this has been going on for maybe 8 years, 7 years, 10 years. And Valerie's the first woman, and this dinner is going to be thrown in honor of Valerie and to get the kickoff on the scholarship fund. And I'm noting here on the piece of paper that it says the parade committee has awarded $17,500 in college scholarships since the parade committee came into existence.
Oh, isn't that nice?
So this is great. And it's a chance to say hello to Valerie and to
thank her for her service
as
supervisor.
As supervisor, and I guess she's now the chair of the Holocaust and Human Rights Education Center.
Right.
So this is a great thing. Be there.
Absolutely.
And who's on the parade committee? Let's just see. Anybody? Yeah, Tanya McMenamin. There you are.
Oh, okay.
And also Michael Murphy, who's with the Murphy Brothers Construction. And it just looks like it's going to be a great event. And oddly enough, the flyer is green. There we go.
We wish them money.
So, yes, we wish them money. We wish you money. We hope you have a successful dinner.
Well, that's very nice. Valerie's a very special person.
She most certainly is, and it's going to be a great event.
Well, we have some maybe local news. I mean,
Maybe.
It's local maybe news
Okay.
about the Larchmont Playhouse. So, as I understand it, there was the local group, but they couldn't raise enough money to take over the project. So this person from Bronxville who's in the sort of the movie business had been going by it, and he developed a dream that he would buy it and then would keep the 3 movie theaters and maybe open up a wine bar or something, and then he would use the basement for what he does, some kind of studio. But there is a catch. Would you like to describe the catch?
Well, no. The catch is
Well, I might
that
start coughing, so you should.
Okay. So, there cannot be any first-run movies run at this theater. It is a clause in the sale contract. It's a restriction. It doesn't say deed restriction. I'm just looking at the article. It says a clause in this purchase and sale contract. So, this fellow apparently will walk away from the deal, walk away from his dream, if Regal Theaters doesn't lift the restriction on playing of first-run movies, which makes sense to me if I were in his shoes. I'm not sure I'd get near this thing, but having gotten near it, if you can't run first-run movies, it's going to be a tough sell.
They talked about making it an art movie thing.
Yeah, but that doesn't hold the expenses that you have to go through. You need if you have a fund, if you have an endowment fund, right?
Okay.
And you're earning $100,000 a year on some multi-million-dollar endowment fund, then you may have enough money to cover the maintenance during the course of the year and the rental of whatever specialty films you get in. But if you're not without the endowment, and if you're just going to charge people, you're going to charge them nothing or next to nothing, you can't keep up the building. And I don't know what condition this building is. It
needs
is
work.
in. Yeah, it's been around for 50, 75 years. Something along those lines, and it probably has roof issues and heating and air conditioning issues and floor issues and fire safety issues and who knows what.
So that's a sticky wicket.
Well, according to this article, somebody said there was still a chance, albeit before Monday, January 16th, was in a few
Pretty
days,
soon.
that Regal, the owner, can show it's community-minded and be a friend to many residents of Larchmont, Mamaroneck, and New Rochelle by lifting the restriction in the clause. You know?
Have they ever tried to be our friend?
I don't know. They were getting $15 a ticket to go and see the theater, go see the movies in the theater. So I guess that's friendly. I'm not sure.
Well, you know, there's something strange going on with Governor Cuomo. Like usually he gives a state of the state address once in Albany. And now he has so much to say. He's making 6 presentations around the state, but a lot are around here. So why? That's a change. And then he started talking about free tuition for SUNY students, which is following a Bernie Sanders line or a concept.
You think there's a method to the madness?
Well, and then he announces stuff down here. I mean, he's really in de Blasio's face, which I don't mind that a lot, but, you know, it just seems very strange.
What about the closure of the Indian Point nuclear facility?
The bombshell.
What is the cleanest form of non-sun wind or geothermal power? What is the cleanest form of power that you can get on a large scale? Let me say it that way. Nuclear. So, all the people from where? Manhattan have been saying, oh my God, the plant's going to explode and we're all going to die. And we have to close the plant. Somebody has a stake somewhere with some money in something that says that the reactors need to be closed to satisfy my personal.
Well, Riverkeeper is very active.
Well, but that's the stuff that they advertise. The stuff that's actually happening is people. Where does Riverkeeper get its funding from? Let me guess. There's somebody important who owns a lot of Con Ed stock. I don't know what it is. I'm just telling you.
Right.
Things like this do not happen by accident, right?
Agreed.
So Cuomo has been a slave, just a serf, a pitiful little weenie serf to the environmental interests of the people in Manhattan. He wouldn't allow fracking upstate, which has not a damn thing to do with him, or for that matter, with the people in Manhattan, except that it offended them. The only state in the nation to ban fracking. Ban.
Are you
kidding?
kidding?
Even the weirdos in California.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yes. Even with all of the craziness in California, they set up a regulatory system and have allowed fracking. There's only one state in the nation where there is shale oil that has banned fracking. One. And this was, you may remember, we talked about this at some length. This is New York, and it's because the state commissioner of health, a serf and appointee of Mr. Cuomo, said, I wouldn't let my kids go to school near one of these things. And Cuomo, don't you remember, this was in the newspapers, Cuomo's response was, this is in public. This is, the two of them are on a stage. Cuomo says, well, that's enough for me. The newspapers haven't carried that lately because the newspapers are also serfs, right? And they, you know,
they're distracted.
If you tick off the politicians, particularly crazies like Cuomo, you won't have access. You won't be able to write your stories. The editors will send you out as a reporter to get the story. You won't be able to get the story because you will be shut out. They don't have to be as blatant as Trump and say, take out the CNN report, just remove yourselves. They don't do that. They just don't grant an interview. They don't accredit you to come and sit in the press conferences. Now, if you're working for a newspaper or for a media outlet, that's the last thing that you want. You don't want to be shut out of anything because that makes you less useful to your boss.
Right.
And if you are less useful to your boss, you will be gone.
Right. He'll find someone.
So this dope who says, we will not have fracking in this state because the health commissioner won't let his kids go to school in a community that has fracking. Really said this, at least quoted that way. This guy now says again, surf to the environmental interests in Manhattan and all money. I suspect it's money in Manhattan.
Probably.
Money,
If
money,
you want to
money,
run
money.
for president, you need money.
Money. Or you want to run for governor again, you need money, money, money. Why won't he go to Albany and speak in front of the legislature? Because he has made in his, 6 years, so many enemies. People, seriously, they despise the guy.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
Absolutely, he is a little, I don't want to say this, but he's a little fascist. He makes the decisions. He wants to be the smartest guy. This reputation, everybody in Albany and everybody associated with the legislature is fully aware of this. They don't talk about it, right? You wouldn't hear any.
Maybe among themselves.
I think they do talk about it amongst themselves, and particularly the administrative people. I know a lot of them. Remember, I was part of that administration for a while. He's an awful guy. It's too bad. He has Bill Mulrow as his right-hand man and advisor, who's a great guy. He's from Bronxville. He really is a great man. I don't know how he can put up with this. But anyway, so Cuomo shuts down, secret deal. And by the way, Eric Schneiderman, who happens...
Who's also running for governor, I think.
Yes, who happens to be...
I'm tired of everyone running for things.
I know. He's the Attorney General of New York. Isn't that pitiful?
And he said he would go after Trump with everything he's got.
Oh, yeah.
But he's getting diverted here.
Yes, he'd protect the interests of all of us New Yorkers who are living in fear of Donald Trump. This week, I was proud to sign an agreement with Entergy, Governor Cuomo, and the committed environmental advocates at Riverkeeper to decommission the Indian Point power plant. This agreement is a major victory for the millions of New Yorkers who live and work in nearby communities and will help kickstart the state's clean energy future. Isn't that funny to say that? Clean energy future? Nuclear facilities are the cleanest source of energy, save for wind and solar, the cleanest source of power. Now, 25% of the New York and Westchester power, according to both Governor Cuomo's press release and County Executive Astorino's speech, 25% comes from Indian Point. Where are we going to get this from? This is a close-by facility that's been established. The construction cost, the capital costing has really run down to a very low level, right? There are maintenance costs, obviously, safety costs, obviously, and fuel costs, obviously. But it runs pretty effectively. You don't have to go in and build a new building now with 9-foot thick walls. It's a short distance away, so the transmission costs are low, and the loss of power in transmission that you would have if you were generating it 3,000 miles away is reduced. And they're going to take this out and replace it with what? Does anybody, Attorney General Eric T. Schneider person, does he really think this is going to be replaced by wind and solar? This is like 2,000 billion megawatts a minute or something like this. Nuts. It's insane. But it's better than that. That's only part of the story. By the way, that's right. The Business Council of Westchester has come out very strongly against this.
Talking about, the 1,000 of people that will lose high-paying jobs and the economic ruin that will come to the area.
Increased electricity rates. Where's the power coming from is my key. It turns out that Entergy, which owns Indian Point, also owns an upstate reactor that is generating power at lower than its rated capacity.
It could do more?
Oh, no. It must be. It must be. Let's see. If we say, Governor Cuomo will close down Indian Point so you can raise money in Manhattan for your future runs for governor, president, or king of the world, or whatever else. If you do that, then we will take on to keep these underutilized, uneconomic nuclear plants, when way upstate New York, why they built them up there, I have no idea. We will take those and we'll keep them running. And how is that going to happen? Governor Cuomo is going to take money from downstate consumers and put it into those plants.
Oh.
That's the deal. Oh, so that's how we could close Indian Point. because he thinks he's got 5 years to do this now, right?
Well, and wasn't it like 6 billion he's going to put into, he's giving to energy?
Yes,
right.
He's giving to subsidies for those 2 plants upstate, one of
Okay.
which is owned by Entergy.
Okay.
But I see a political trade here. We'll give you what you want. We'll close down Indian Point if you will guarantee that you, the state of New York, will keep this plant upstate going so that we, Entergy, can do what? Sell it to another operator, which lo and behold is a pending sale. Isn't that surprising? It's a pending sale. So everybody who's running around Manhattan now, and were you in Manhattan today?
No.
Oh, people are shooting streamers in the air saying, oh, Indian Point's closing. This is going to be great. Thank you, Governor Cuomo. This is the greatest thing anybody's ever done for us, right? Now our power rates will be 25% higher. That's great. And they're just overjoyed and happy about this. It turns out this was part of a scheme. I'm going to be the first to say it on LMC-TV tonight, Tuesday night. I'm the first to say this Tuesday night on LMC-TV.
January 10th.
January 10th. I'm the first to say it right here, right now. I'm the first to say it. I'm not the first to say it anywhere. I'm the first to say it right here in this room with these witnesses.
Wonderful people here.
Wonderful people. This is all a gigantic, this is a scam. It's a scam. The governor is trading the environment, he's trading for the environmental vote. How can the reactors be safe upstate but not safe downstate? Or how can they be dirty downstate and not dirty upstate? What applies to nuclear plant 1 applies to nuclear plants 2 and 3. Oh, they're not located near metropolitan areas. Well, I will vouchsafe that they do not have the same sort of safety protection that Indian Point does. Indian Point has way more safety protection
I hadn't thought of that.
than the federal regulations require. Why is that? Because it's close. All right? But have people run away from living in Buchanan, which is where the reactors are located?
No.
Has that historically been true that people are panicked that those things are going to blow up? No. The people who are panicked are the money people in Manhattan who have a boy, Governor Cuomo, who will do their bidding. That's what they want. That's why there's no fracking in this state. That's why that plant is going to close down. That's why we're going to pay to continue the operation of the nuclear plants in northern New York.
You know?
Are we out of time?
Yes.
I'm so
and
aggravated.
I bet that
Yes.
there will be more information by our next show.
I bet there will
Won't
be.
that be fun?
If Governor Cuomo is not in jail by then, there will be more information.
Well, sometimes I think he thinks we're all idiots, but half of us are, I suppose. Well, thank you very much. Thank you to the talent that's on the other side of the cameras.
And Happy New Year to everyone.
Yes.
Happy and healthy New Year.
And we'll be back.
Maybe. Maybe we'll be arrested by the fascist lefts.
The no.
No, the
no
no,
people.
the quonos.
I like that.
Good night.